Hi, welcome to my tutorial. This is a walkthrough of a song that I'm working on. I've recorded the audio as I'm watching a playback of what I've done in this tutorial. So what's going to happen is I'm going to put the audio 10 seconds further in than when it was recorded, so it'll look like I say something in the audio and then it happens in the video. Hopefully this format works out. This will be a learning experience, and hopefully you guys get something out of this tutorial. So, one of the most important things you can do when you're working on any project is keeping a to-do list of what you're doing in the project. So here's my to-do list. I know exactly where I'm up to.
Just for me and know if you know.
There's a line in the vocals that is.
I just proof relies on.
There's a line in the vocals.
I wish I didn't, and that doesn't seem fair to me at all. So am I asking for a lot? Others ask this all the time. Can you do this or this or that, or secretly send me a sign?
Let's find in the vocals.
Secretly send me a sign. Secretly send me a sign. I want some proof. Am I out of line? Do I need to prove something to you for you to be divine? So for you to prove something to you, prove something.
Audio timing issues that need tweaking.
Prove something to you for you, prove something to you for you to be divine. So I pray to God, fine. So I pray to God, come keep me safe at night. I promise you I'll listen, help me keep my faith alive.
Reducing the breaths.
So I pray to God, come keep fine. So I pray to God, come keep me safe at night. I promise you I'll listen, help me keep my faith alive. And when
whereas any other way of doing this, you have to automate it and treat every breath the same.
Alive, and when alive, and when my faith alive.
I like to stress that you can't spend too much time working on the vocals.
And when life gets alive, and when life gets dark, you'll be the ray of light, ray of you, the ray of. The ray of light, the ray of light, with you, the ray of light, the ray of light, the ray of light, the ray of light, the ray of light. You'll be the ray of light, with you, ray of light, with you, ray of light, with you in my heart, my heart. Ray of light, with you in my heart.
Trying a few different melodic adjustments.
Make it right.
Add some variety. Otherwise it's a bit stale. Here I'm looking to spice up the instrumental a bit. It's not that the ideas are bad per se, but they drone on for a while.
Then where's the love?
In music it can be tricky because you need to know when variety is your friend and when it's not.
How do you suppose this works? Then where's the love, you know?
So I'm trying to figure out what to do with this instrumental. how do I keep the ideas that I like in there while spicing it up? As you can hear, there's more than enough noise. Stuff needs to be removed or changed. But don't want to add too much noise without making space for it, otherwise it'll feel too cluttered. A bit of clipping on that from the sidechain. It's going a bit off the rails. You can see it pumping away. I like that drum beat a lot better for the instrumental. I'm not sure if it's going to work well with the vocals, the vocal parts. The drum beat might clash where the words land.
I get that you can't just go making miracles whenever I want, but you know, from time to time, can't you throw this dog a bone? Well, stop praying from your mouth and stop praying from inside, and you'll feel like I'm not real, and when you feel like I'm not real and need a way to see the light, take a second and entertain that my existence can be made manifested in your brain. What, do you mean like Buddhist? No, that's not what I mean at all. I mean that if you want me to be there, you need to call on basic ideas, like if miracles are by design, a thing outside of science. Why would you use science to try to prove these things exist and miracles occur? Doesn't that seem stupid to you? Okay, so you mean don't use science to prove science? I think I'm going to get rid of this. But we use science for everything we know. Do you? Are you sure? Yes, I'm pretty sure. What about 1 + 1 is 2? Is that outside of science?
That's enough.
Well,
of
I mean,
that.
it's math, so.
Still not a fan of the audio melodies and the instrumentals.
Well, don't you think that isn't fair? If that's the case, and your God, couldn't you think of an alternative? Yes, I
think the audio does click better with the second drum beat than the first one.
But then where's the love?
Just trying to find where that noise is coming from. Not a fan of those guitars. It's too computer generated sound. You need some human touch envelopes.
Where's the love? You know, sometimes it hurts to be alive. Why can't life be perfect with you here to help me by my side? Or don't you want to be here because you're acting like you don't? Cause when I praise
this is a good master channel overview at the moment. You can see the bottom end is all mid mono. That's good. It's just really not pumping enough, so we're going to have to do a lot of compression and parallel compression. So we're checking out the vocal rack here. What's going on? I think the vocals are fine. I don't know what he's doing here. What I'm doing here. Okay, so we're setting up another vocal track with some sort of delay on it by the looks of it.
Almost all the time, but then almost all the time, but then where's the love time? But then time.
Until I'm not happy with
but
the
then where's the love?
then where's
you know time? But then where's time? But then where's the time? But then where's the time? But then where's the love? You know, sometimes it hurts.
It does sound a bit like, you know.
No.
Could have gone up.
You know,
That B maybe?
sometimes it hurts to be alive. Why can't life be
It's not doing
perfect
it.
with
That's
you
right.
here to help me by my side? Or don't you want to be
Looks like he's
here?
more interested in
'Cause
the
you're
timing
acting
and the
like
moment
you
than the
don't.
pitch.
'Cause
That's
when
alright.
I pray to you, it still feels
Hard
like
to do both at once.
I'm alone.
Your ears tend to like to pick up on one or the other. So normally it's best to have a run through of the pitch and then a run through of the timing, or the other way around. A run through and adjusting all of that aspect instead of trying to do everything at once. In this case, I think I've gone through it at least a few times to try and get the timing sorted. You could hear in the extra vocals that there's a lot of mistakes I was making as I was reading out the lyrics. So there were a lot of points where I would have had to say a word like imagination. I would have said imagine, and then I'd say the word again from the start, imagination, and so I would have to take that second imagination and stick it on top of the first one and try to connect it as best I could to the previous word, whatever that was before imagination, which can be quite time consuming to make sure there's no click and it fades all nicely and sounds natural. Because if it's your imagination, if you put it too close to your, it's going to sound your imagination. It's going to sound like there's two voices coming in at the same point, and it won't sound right. If you have it too far apart, it just sounds like there's a gap, an odd gap, like your imagination. Yeah.
You know, sometimes it hurts to be alive. Why can't you know? Sometimes it hurts to be alive. Why can't life be perfect? You know, sometimes it. You know, sometimes it hurts to be alive. You know, sometimes it hurts to be alive. Why can't life be here to help me by my side? Or don't you want to be here because you're acting like you don't? 'Cause when I pray to you, it still feels like I'm alone.
What's he doing? Okay, he's adding a slight variation in the pitch and the timing. And then he's going to pan one to the left and one to the right. So one will go through the left speakers, one will go through the right speakers. And then he'll drop them both in volume. And so you'll have a very slightly different output. The same general.
Cause when I pray to you, it still feels like I'm alone.
General vocal recording through each speaker, and the changes will be so slight that it's not noticeable. It'll just sound a bit more full. Hopefully he mixes it in alright with the original, because right now it sounds terrible.
You know, sometimes it hurts. You know, sometimes it hurts to be alive. Why can't life be perfect?
He's doing this a bit soon in the production. He should be doing this at the end. Because there might be the vocal changes that he wants to make to the main one. And if he's doing this now, making 3 tracks with the vocals, he's going to have to copy and paste the new Melodyne over to the other 2 tracks. So it's best to do so. He might be doing it now because
you know, sometimes it hurts to be alive. Why can't life be perfect?
he might be sick of hearing the
me
dullness of the vocals. I'm not sure. I don't know what his excuse is. No, edit. Yep. Come on. Control A, buddy. Did you do the pitch on that one?
You know, sometimes it hurts to be
Yeah, I don't think you did. Come on, Control A. Oh, maybe you did. What are you doing? Okay, well that was frustrating.
You know, sometimes it hurts to be alive. Why can't life be perfect with you here to help me by my side? Or don't you want to be here?
I can hear a lot of melodic changes I've changed in the main vocal tune. Acting like you don't would probably be nicer than acting like you do. Whatever he's doing.
You know, sometimes it hurts to be alive. Why can't life be perfect with you
sounds a bit
here
messy.
to help me by my side? Or don't you want to be here?
I guess it's alright.
You're
Bit of
acting
variety.
like you don't. Cause when I pray to you, it
Okay,
still
it does
feels
sound better
like
with those side ones. That's
I'm
good.
alone.
Go on, group them all together.
Sometimes it hurts to
I don't know if you can make a group
Why can't life be
inside a group
with you here to help me by my side?
this
Or
version
don't
of
you
Ableton.
want to be here? Because you're acting like you don't. Cause when I pray to you, it still feels like
I'm also not sure why he's not working in full screen. He should be hitting
if you're
F11
really out there.
shift question mark to get rid of that help
If
section.
you're really out there.
And Control B to get rid of the browser.
My eyes.
delete.
Have you seen Matilda? It doesn't
There's no
have
excuse
to
for
be
not
some
doing
giant
that.
thing. And if it's just for me and no one else, then hey, that's fine. I wish I didn't need this. I just really want to know that you could intervene with what I do. That's if you wanted to intervene. Otherwise, your proof relies
that
on
I
stories
hear.
that
That's
I
a bit
hear
dragged,
from
isn't it?
others, and that doesn't seem fair to me at all. So am I asking
let's do
for a
something.
lot? Others ask this all the time. Can you do this or that, or secretly send me a sign? I want some proof. Am I out of line? Do I need to prove something to you for you to be divine? So I pray to God.
Oh, okay, goodness, that's a bit. I don't know if you want to throw that in there.
Love, you know.
What are you doing? Just make a new channel.
Here to help me by my side. Why can't life be perfect with you here to help me by my side? Or don't you want to? Don't, cause when I pray to you, it still don't you want to be here? We can make it right.
So here on my build section, I'm putting in build.
I said, okay, then God, prove yourself to
dropping some
me
automation
tonight.
that'll
If you're really
stop
out there,
the section from
let
outputting
me
any
do
volume.
things with my eyes.
So after the build up,
Have
it
you
just
seen
cuts off
Matilda?
without
It doesn't
any
have to be some
residue.
giant thing. And if it's just for
Normally
me
when a
and
sound
no
plays
one else,
and
then
it
hey,
stops,
that's fine. I wish
there's a bit of leftover residue, not reverb,
I
but
just
it'll be
really want to
time
know
for the
if
frequencies
you
to,
could intervene with what I do. That's if you want to.
you can get rid of that completely if you
Otherwise,
remove
your
the
proof relies on stories that I hear from
output
others,
volume from the
and
channel
that
completely.
doesn't seem fair to me at all. So am I asking for a lot? Others ask this all the
be careful with
time.
that.
Can you do this or that, or secretly send me a sign? I want some proof. Am I out of line? Do I need to prove something to you for you to be divine? So I pray to
Man, that's
God.
something like, I think the first chorus should be like, so I pray to God, and then some random instruments, and then so I pray to God again, or maybe during a build up, and then go into the main chorus, because it's just too much words.
Out of line, do I be divine? You for you to be divine. So I pray to you for you to
That
be
feels empty.
divine.
Need some sort of
So
crash or
I
something.
pray to God, come keep me safe, be a
Better.
be
Still
divine.
not great.
So I pray to God, come keep me safe at night. To intervene, fair to me at all. To intervene, otherwise your proof relies on stories that I hear from others, and that doesn't seem fair to me at all.
It's a bit lazy that he hasn't made his own. He just chuck in some white noise, add a fade in,
Intervene,
and a filter.
to intervene at all. So am I asking
the
for a
filters,
lot?
mix, add
To
those
intervene,
on.
be divine.
That's
So
alright,
I
guess.
pray to God, come keep me safe at night. Be a so to be alive. Why can't life be perfect with you here to help me by my side? Or don't you want to be here?
The wider
Cause you're acting like you don't. Cause when I pray to you, it still feels
just
like
dropping them on the tracks like that.
I'm
Try that.
alone. Don't, cause when I
Builds.
pray to you, it still feels like
I suppose
I'm
it's alright.
alone. Or don't you, or it still feels like I'm alone.
Maybe if the chords weren't hitting like every bar as well. Most like maybe dun 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 dun. You know, if they're coming in slightly before the bar started, or maybe if the third chord was held into the fourth part. That's alright. Can't hate on life for myself too much. I do not like that instrument. I disavow it. I guess the problem he's got is he wants some instruments that are going to merge well with the vocal line and not be too harsh, because the whole mood of the song isn't very harsh, but these are quite timid. Oh cool, he's changing it. What, he's going for something softer? No, surely not. That's better. Yeah, I can feel that. Something a bit harsh would be nice. Maybe blend it with an aggressive lead. Just so you have that hint of.
Then where's the love? You know, sometimes. Then where's the love?
Maybe duplicate it, move one up an
Sometimes
octave.
it hurts to be alive. Why can't life be perfect with you here
Yes, he's
to
trying to
help
keep staying
me
out of the
by
way
my
of the
side?
chord frequencies.
Or
And
don't
if you
you
move it
want
up an
to
octave,
be here? Because you're
it might get in
acting
the way.
like you don't. Cause when
You
I
can move it
pray
up an
to
octave.
you, it still
Split
feels
the
like
high octave
those
in
with
terms
better
of
memories.
frequencies into 3 bands, and
Those with
then
better memories
take the top
would
band of
doubt me
that
less
and
and see me
sidechain it
less.
to the
Get
vocals.
less interaction with me. Well, don't you
So
think
that's
that
quite a bit
isn't
of
fair?
CPU power and effort.
If that's those with better memories would doubt me less and see me less. Get less interaction with me. Well, don't you think that isn't fair? If that's the case, and your God, couldn't you think of an alternative? Yes, I have plans. When you ask for proof, I plop a rain shower right above your heads. Those with better memories would doubt me less and see me less. Get less interaction with me. Well, don't you
That's
think
not a
that
good
isn't fair?
bill to use.
If that's the case, those with better memories would doubt me less and see me less. Get less interaction with me. Well, don't you think that isn't fair?
Oh, he's changed the pitch.
Don't you think that isn't fair?
The fact that it's going
That's the case.
and it's made it feel like it's just going up straight. Okay, this is before I'd sorted out my effects into their own folders. It sounds like a train. The organisation is quite underrated. If you have all your favourite kicks and your favourite uplifters, downlifters, risers,
Well, don't you think that isn't
white
fair?
noise in the same folder, it becomes quite easy to go through it. Whereas here, looks like I'm searching in all these different folders. Bit of a
Those
task.
with better memories would doubt me less and see me. Well, don't you think that isn't fair? If that's the case, those with better memories would doubt me less and see me less. Get less interaction. Those with better memories would doubt me less and see me less. Get less interaction with me. Well, don't you think that works? Let's use some common sense. When you ask, would doubt me less and see me less. Get less interaction with me. Well, don't you think that isn't fair? If that's the case, well, don't you think that those with
Okay,
better
so weird
memories would doubt me less and see me
situation,
less. Get less interaction with
whatever floats
me.
your boat.
Well, don't you think that isn't fair? If that's a game fair to me at all, so am I asking for a lot? Let me move things with my eyes. Have you seen Matilda? It doesn't have to be some giant thing. And if it's just for me and no one
he's done
else,
with
then
these
hey,
effects
that's
and
fine.
move on.
I wish I didn't need this. Then where's the love? You know, sometimes it just don't. Cause when I play to you, it still feels like I'm alone.
Get it, you're alone.
Or don't you want
be here?
I'm alone.
What you can do on some computer systems,
And when life
depending on
gets
your
dark,
sound,
you'll be the so I pray to
sound
God, come keep
card
me safe
interface.
at night. Divine,
you can go
so
to
I pray to
the
God,
driver
come
settings
keep me
area
safe at
and
night.
adjust the
I
pitch that you're working in. And sometimes it can be really refreshing just to turn it up a pitch. I mean, obviously you shouldn't be making changes to
I'm alone, so I pray
instrument
to
timbres
so I pray to I pray
melodies
to
or
God,
vocals if you're going to be doing
I
this,
pray
but
to
every
God,
other,
come
for example, rhythms
So I pray
and
to God.
general song structure, if you're editing that stuff, just change the pitch a little bit and you'll be able to work on a set, on a music set for about 5 times
still
longer.
feels like I'm alone. I pray to God, come keep me safe at night. I promise you I'll listen, help me keep my faith alive. And when life gets dark, you'll be the ray of light. With you in my heart,
Oh, you're doing this
we can make it right.
boring. Oh, please try it. is, at least when it's playing chords, maybe it feels like a light sparkle at the top on some staccato chord run.
I said, okay then God, prove yourself to me tonight. If you're really I said, okay then God, prove yourself.
Might be alright. But using it for like chords like dang, 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 that is not nice. Anyway, enough being critical. What's some things I like? I do like the drum beat. Oh,
I said,
I don't want to remove everything else and just have the drums and the vocals.
If you're really out there, then let me move things with my eyes. Have you seen Matilda? It doesn't have to be some giant thing.
I feel like the bass should come in.
If it's just for me and no one else, then hey, that's fine. I wish I didn't need this. I just really want to know that you could intervene with what I do. That's if you wanted to intervene. Otherwise, you relies on stories that I hear from others, and that doesn't seem
you've got a better idea of how it's going to sound at the end.
So am I asking for a lot? Others ask this all the time. Can you do this or that, or secretly send me a sign?
That span of the final product though shows you that there's a lot of the mid-frequencies that
Do I
are
need to prove something to you for you So I pray to God, come keep me safe at night. I promise you I'll listen, help me keep my faith alive. And when life gets dark, you'll be the ray of light. With you in my heart, we can make it right. I said, okay then God, yourself to me tonight. If you're really out there, let me through my eyes. Have you seen Matilda? It doesn't have to be some giant thing. But if it's just for me and no one else, then hey, that's fine. I wish I didn't need this. I just really want to know that you could intervene with what I do. That's if you wanted to intervene. Otherwise, your proof relies on stories that I hear from others, and that doesn't seem fair to me at all. So am I asking for a lot? Others ask this all the time. Can you do this or that, or secretly send me a sign? I want some proof.
Surely you're better off just
Am
having
I
one.
out of line? Do I need to prove something to you for you to be divine? So I pray to God, come keep me safe at night. I promise you I'll listen, help me keep my faith alive.
Pressing it right.
And when life gets dark, you'll be the ray of light. With you in my heart, we can make it right. This works. Let's use some common sense. When you ask for proof, I plop a rain shower right above your heads. Those with better memories would doubt me less and see me less, get less interaction with me. Don't you think that isn't fair?
I'd quite like a span plugin that was
that's
more
a case,
3D, because obviously
couldn't you think of an
lighter
alternative?
color that's closer to us is the side. So it's on the spectrum, it's the waves that are coming more out to the side rather than down the middle. So it'd be nice if you can imagine the shape of the bell curve would be how the mix should be outputting its signals. It's like a 3D bell curve. I can't really explain it without. Oh goodness, stop touching the limiters. Just put it as tiny limiter on the end. -30, whatever it's supposed to be. -0.3. I just catch those very tiny peaks. Looks like he's saving and used to save. Oh, finally he's going back to the list. What else is there to do? Oh, okay, he's finished the list. Yeah, an intro. I could do it with an intro. Top up the volume automation. Not quite sure what he means by that. Maybe he should have elaborated a little bit more on that. Applying high quality pitch change. Right, so he's changed the pitch of the song and listening to it, listening through it again. Maybe some other things will jump out to him. I've noticed that if you change a song up in pitch, it becomes easier to pick out when the timings are off for the vocals. And down in pitch, these other things that are easier. Some of the timbre adjustments that you want to do are easier to see. Some of them aren't though. You don't really want to change the pitch and then decide on timbre adjustments. So he's updating his list of things he wants to adjust to it. We'll skip ahead to the next video, I think. Overall, not a bad effort. Okay, that's a nice little compliment at the end. This is part 2. He's dragged in what appears to be this is Cable Guys.
And if it's just for me and no one else, then hey, that's fine. I wish I
Volume shaper.
I just really want to know
shaker.
You could intervene.
Volume shaper. And it just splits the sound into 3 different frequency bands, and then you can adjust how long the volume takes to go out, takes to peter out in each band. So with a kick, for example, you want the top end to linger around longer than the low end. So it looks like that's what he's doing here. He's just trying to figure out how to make the interval that's represented here on the graph, how to make that longer. There's obviously little drum kicks after the main one that are being affected as well, so he needs to adjust those separately by the looks of it. Oh, this is a great plugin, I forgot about this. This isn't anything that you can't do that's with the built-in stuff in Ableton. I'm not sure if the blending in happens in the same way, the same manner as this, but this is quite intuitive to look at. I do enjoy using that plugin. For the record, if you wanted to do that in Ableton, you would make 3 tracks and of the same instrument and have each track only play a certain range of frequencies. So the first one might be the frequencies in the range of 0 to 500, the second one might be 500 to 2.5, 3.5, third one the rest, and then you'd have effects on each of those
said, okay, then God, prove yourself to me.
What effect would you use, like gates?
If you're really out there, then let me move
No, not
things
gates, you
with
use
my
gates. I like
eyes.
gates.
Have you seen Matilda? It doesn't have to be
compressors.
some giant thing. And if it's just for me and I said, okay, then God, prove yourself to me tonight. If you're really out there, then let me move things with my eyes. Have you seen Matilda? It doesn't have to be some giant thing. And if it's just for me and no one else, then hey, that's fine. I wish I did.
Actually, Volume Shaper does do some things that you can't really do inside Ableton without it. Such as shortening the sound in the way that it shortens the sound, without affecting the harmonics too much. There might be a way to do it inside Ableton, but terrible sparkle instrument he saw it going. You're going for the church bells, don't? There's a very painful to listen to frequency in this song. It's like someone's hitting a triangle in my ear. Looks like he's trying to find it.
You could intervene with what I do. That's if you wanted to intervene. Otherwise, your proof relies on stories that I hear from others, and that doesn't seem fair.
And drop the top a bit too, please. I suppose that's better. Looks like he's making the intro.
To you for you to be divine. So I pray to God, come keep me safe at night.
Kind of enjoyed it without all those other instruments.
You all listen, help me keep my. I said okay.
But hey, it's your piece.
Yourself to me. I said okay, then God, prove yourself to me tonight. If you're really out. I said okay, then God, prove yourself to me tonight. If I said okay, then
Gonna need
God,
that's a lot of
prove
different
yourself
bass
to me
tracks.
tonight. If you're really out there, then let me move things with my eyes. Have you seen Matilda? It doesn't have to be some giant thing. And if it's just for me and no one else, then hey, that's fine. I wish I didn't need this. I just really want to know that you could intervene. And if it's just for me and no one else, then hey, that's fine. I wish I didn't. Hey, hey, that's hey.
Okay, I need to focus back on this. I was thinking about consciousness. Just zoned out. It was a thought I had about consciousness. I meant to write it down and write it down later. Okay, so what he's doing here is he's freezing the track, and then he's going to take the a note from the start of one of his bars. Parallel compression, reduce dynamics. He's going to take a note from the start of one of his bars and reverse it, get the reverb on it, and reverse the reverb as well. So reverse it alongside the reverb, and take the tail of that and have that lead up to the main bass note. So instead of a boo, it's like boo. That's a pretty cool technique. I wonder if he'll know how to do it. Flatten, come on, you can do it. Click flatten. It's flattened. Is he going to do it? Is he going to give up? He might give up. I hope he doesn't. Yeah, the consciousness thought I wanted to write down. I might just say it here before I forget. Oh, he is flattening. Cool. I said the other day to some guys, I said, what is it that's keeping our consciousnesses attached to our bodies? For example, why can't you wake up tomorrow in someone else's body, or why can't you control more than one body, one day, and then the next day control other bodies? Kind of like a video game. And then I felt like a moron because I didn't really understand what I was trying to say. Because obviously the chemicals in your brain bind you to the body that you're in. But my question's around the you in that sentence. When you talk about binding you to the body that you're in, why is it that the you is bound to the body that you're in and can't swap body? Oh crap, I've forgotten how my reasoning went. Okay, I'll have to think about it again and write it down later. Alright. Is this the bass or the kick? Oh yeah, it's a bass.
Hey, that's fine.
I wonder why he pasted that line down.
Hey, that's fine. Hey, that's fine. Hey, that's fine. I wish I did. Hey, that's fine. Hey, that's fine. I wish. Hey, that's fine. Hey, that's fine.
Just copy and paste that one at the start of the next bar. Why not?
I wish I didn't need
Yeah, just one there.
I just really want to know that you could intervene with what I do. That's if you wanted to intervene. Otherwise, your proof relies on stories that I hear from others, and that doesn't seem fair to me at all. So am I asking for a lot? Others ask this all the time. Can you do this or that, or secretly send me a sign? I want some proof. Am I out?
Oh, this consciousness situation is really bothering me because it's not just semantics. There was a way that I had of thinking about it that could separate what I'm talking about. Oh, it was to do with something about the perspectives that people have. You have your own perspective of the world. Perspective. It had to do with the word perspective. It's bothersome.
So, how do you suppose this?
Cool, so he's finished the intro. Hopefully. Goodness me, if I was this slow with my projects now, I'd be pretty upset with myself.
I didn't need this. I just really want to know that you could intervene. I wish I'd just be some giant, and if it's just for no one else, then hey, that's fine. What I do, that's if you wanted to intervene. So I pray to God, come keep me. So I pray to God, so at least send me a sign, I want some proof. I want some.
Okay, looks like he's going to do some vocals for a bit.
Do I need to float of line? Do I need to prove something to you for you to be divine?
There's a lot of vocal editing, so we'll just skip the next instrument bit.
Come keep me safe at night. I promise you I'll listen. Help me keep my faith alive. I promise you I'll listen. I promise you. I promise you I'll listen. I promise you I'll listen. I promise you I'll listen. Help me keep my faith alive. And when life gets dark, it's dark. I said, okay, then God, prove it. Be some giant thing, and if it's just for me and no one else, then hey, that's fine. I wish I didn't need this. I just really want to know that you could intervene with what I do. That's if you wanted to intervene. Otherwise, your proof relies on stories that I hear from others, and that doesn't seem fair to me at all. So am I asking for a lot? Others ask this all the time. Can you do this or that, or secretly send me a sign? I want some proof. Am I out of line? Do I need to prove something to you for you to be divine? So I pray to God, come keep me safe at night. I promise you all to me. So I pray to God. So I pray to God.
So he's adjusting some of the bass notes in the chorus.
I pray to God, come keep me safe at night. I promise you I'll listen, help me keep my faith. So I pray to God, come keep me safe at night. I promise you I'll listen, help. So I pray to God, come keep me safe at night. I promise you I'll listen, help me keep my faith alive. And when life gets dark, you'll be the ray of light. With you in my heart, and we can make it right. God, I said, then God, God, I said, we can make it right. I said okay. I said if that's the case, I said then where's the love? You prove yourself to me. I pray to God, come keep me safe at night. I promise you all to know. I pray to God, still feels like I'm alone. I pray to God, come keep me safe at night. I promise you I'll listen.
So he's gonna fix the melody. That was a bit. Didn't feel like it fit that well. I don't normally make melodies on the fly like this. You have to copy and paste it. Or solo the instrument. Doesn't feel quite right. Wonder what he's going to do with it. Oh, he's using it. Oh, no. What are you doing? You can't play it there because that's where the master channel fades out. So I'm just going to do it. Disable the automation on the master for it. He should just go into the sound bank I've got set up where I've put all the melodies that I've come up with, all sorted into their chord progressions. This is a much harder way of doing it. I feel like he's just trying to flex That's alright. It is good to have these steps, and then you can easily hear which note is out, and then after you've done all the steps and you start deleting the steps and swapping over the place of the note with a note on a different step without using a new pitch that hasn't been used in any previous step before. I don't know if that quite made sense. And then the timing has to match as well. So that last three, the timing's off.
Have you seen Matilda? Let me move things with my eyes. Let me move things.
That's starting to sound nice. This is a very hard thing to do.
With my eyes. Me move things.
I think that first one needs to go up 2, and the last one down 3. Not the last one, this one right here. I wonder if he'll do that. I mean, it sounds alright at the moment. And cut out some middle notes here. Dun 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 dun. Alright. Dun 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 dun.
Have you seen Matilda?
At least it's breaking that melody a bit.
Doesn't. Have you seen Matilda? Doesn't have to be.
Look at the other instruments need to do stuff as well to build it up in that part though. I know it's the ending of the instrumental, but it doesn't feel very dramatic.
Have you seen with my eyes?
But why aren't the drums are cool drums? Sure, it's got its reasons. Oh, he might be changing now, that'd be great. See if I can hear them. Why don't you just copy and paste the other drums? Well, no, I think he's got something in his head for the drums. Oh no, you can't just switch it all over halfway through the song to halftime. There's never ever been a song that's done that, and the reason is it's jars the same way that changing the beat halfway through the song is jars. The beat, the tempo of the song. Never ever change the tempo of the song halfway through the song.
It's just for me, be some giant thing.
Oh, no, what are you doing?
Be some giant thing, be some giant thing.
Ah, I can see why.
Be some giant thing. And if it's just
I see why he thinks it would sound alright if it was halftime.
be some giant thing, and a giant thing, be some giant thing, and if giant thing. And it be be some giant thing. And if it's just for me and no one else, then hey, that's fine. I wish it'd be some giant thing.
Nah, I think it's
if it's
better.
just for me and no one else, then hey, that's
do
fine.
that second
I wish
kick slightly further over, like you had it before.
be some.
Is he still going for the half time? Oh, no, he's not. Cool.
I wish.
No, drag it back a bar. Come on. There's so many things I want to say to my former self right now. The melody's alright though. Oh, he's gonna do what I was hoping to do before.
And no one else, then hey, that's fine. I wish I did.
Oh, not that one.
I just really want to know that you could intervene with what I do. That's if you wanted to intervene. Otherwise, your proof relies on stories that I hear from others, and that doesn't seem fair to me at all. So am I asking for a lot? Others ask this all the time. Can you do this or that, or secretly send me
I'm not sure why it's
a sign?
taking him so long. I think it's because he's copy and pasting everything.
Am I out of line? Do I need to prove something?
You have your melodies sorted out before you do this, because otherwise
So I pray to God, come keep me safe at night. I promise
paste a lot
you
later
all.
on. Whereas if you have all your melodies completely sorted out before you add another instrument to do that. So it's ideal to get the melodies sorted out. Of course, there's always going to be situations where you have to change stuff later on.
So I pray to God, come keep me safe.
We should change the color on too.
I promise you all this and help me keep my faith. So I pray to God,
Didn't realise
come
I was
keep
doing
me
something.
safe at night. I promise you all this and help.
This isn't pretty
I
nice.
pray to God, come keep me safe at
Don't know
night.
if I listened to it in my own
I
time
promise
yet,
you all this and help me keep my faith alive. And when life gets dark, you'll be the ray of light. With you in my heart, we can make it right.
Well, since he's going to have two of these instrumentals, maybe the first one delete half the notes, and the second one have the notes set. Hopefully he just deletes that and chucks in the other one. It's already been done. It would sound better when he's doing it. Or at least the snare sounds better. Oh, is that the problem? Is that it goes straight
We
here?
can make it right. If that's the case, then where's the love you know? I pray to God, come keep me safe at night. I promise you all alone. I pray to God, still feels like
There needs some sort of fade out audio feature in this part, like a
come keep me safe at night. I promise you all listen.
something just to make it feel like it's a new verse. It's hard to say what it needs here. It needs something though. Maybe start with a different chord. Chord like the minor. Instead of that, what is it? That's just the tone.
We
doesn't want the kicks to be overpowering in the next section, but it's fine because the vocals are taking that intention. I wish he'd cut half the words out of the
How do
vocals.
you suppose this works? Let's use some common sense. When you ask for proof, I plop a rain shower right above your head. How do you suppose this works?
I mean, of
Let's
course,
use
it's
some
supposed to be an
common
enjoyable
sense.
experience,
When you
but
ask for proof,
I
I
was
plop a
thinking-
rain shower right above your heads. How do you suppose this works?
I don't know,
Let's
I was
use some
thinking
common
this right.
sense. How do you suppose this works? Let's use some common sense.
He shouldn't be
How do
working on
you
this for so long
suppose
either.
this
He should be
works?
working
Let's use some
20 minutes
common
on it,
sense. When you ask
having a 5
how
minute
do
break.
you
Or between 20 and
suppose
30
this
minutes.
works?
Having a
Let's
5 minute
use some
break.
common sense. When you
Coming
ask
back
for proof, I plop a
30
rain
minutes,
shower
5 minute
right
break.
above your heads. Those with better
you
memories
work
would doubt me less and see
for
me less. Get less interaction with me.
an hour at a
Don't
time,
you
that
think
should
that
be
is
stuff
unfair?
out.
If that's the case, dear God, couldn't you think of an alternative?
So if you want to work for 6 hours on something, make sure you have room
If
for
that's the case,
7 hours
dear
and you can
God,
have 5 minute
couldn't you
breaks
think
every
of an
25 minutes.
alternative? Yes, I have. I
That
hide.
way you'll be at
If that's
maximum
the case,
performance for
dear
the
God,
full
couldn't
6
you
hours.
think of an alternative? Yes.
Otherwise you work your bum off for the
That's the
first
case.
hour and then it
Dear
just
God,
peters
couldn't
out.
you think of an
to nothing.
alternative? Yes, I. If that's the case.
That bass is a little bit intrusive over the vocals. I feel like it's a tiny bit bright. Not sure, I'm getting ear fatigue quite substantially.
If that's the case, and dear God,
Especially that da 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 da. The drums is making it variable though.
if that's the case, and dear God, if that's the case, if that's the case, if that's the case.
I'm trying to
That's
figure out
the
why it's
case.
not playing
And dear
this.
God, couldn't you think of an alternative? Yes, I have. I hide myself almost all the time. But if that's the case, if that's the
I don't
case,
know why he did change the bass line.
if that's the case, and dear God, couldn't you think? If that's the case, if that's the case, if that's the case, don't you think that isn't fair? If that's the case, and dear God, couldn't you think of an alternative? Yes, I have. I hide myself almost all the time. But
Oh, I
there is
see.
a love, you know. Sometimes it hurts to be alive. Why can't life be perfect? When you ask for proof, I plop it. How do you suppose?
I don't know why I ever doubted you this. That sounds dope. I'm sure we can keep it up for the full album. Controlling how loud they are is quite hard because you have to go to Omnisphere and figure out all the envelopes and envelopes. It's a bit of a mission. Have another bow. Do that again to the fourth bar. Ding, ding. Why is it? He's not using it. Oh.
So, how do you suppose this works?
We should delete more notes. That's fine, you don't need delete some chord stabs too. Delete a few bass notes. Will the song sound emptier? Yes. Is it sounding too full? Right now, probably not, but it's too much repetition with the notes, so give it a bit of life. Maybe I've been listening to it for too long, it just feels like it's stale. Nice if there was a key change in the middle, so you don't key change. It'd be like listening to it fresh when it hits that. Okay, that waveform's not looking great. The mid and the high need to be a lot higher. The waveform can also be to do with the speakers or headphones that you're using. It is often, especially with headphones, there's not a true sound. Of course, headphones are a lot more convenient because they're portable, fully enclosed. You don't need to worry about bass walls and things like that. But often they'll have an EQ makeup, some sort of addition to the low end, to try and compensate for the fact that they can't truly represent the real sound of the output of the live set. There's websites that you can look up your headphones and it'll give you information about how much of a variation there is between the what the headphones tell you is true and what the actual output of the project is. Speakers don't have this EQ. Right. Melodyne Nightmare. Okay. So there's a lot of Melodyne to do. A lot more. I thought we already did some.
I said, okay then God, prove yourself to me tonight. If you're really out there, then let me move things with my eyes. Let me move things. Let me move things with.
Oh dear, I think he's about to do something they should never do on a project, which is adjust the loudness of the master channel.
Things with my eyes. Have you seen Matilda a dozen?
I thought he was going to make artificial drops in the master channel by making the volume go up to the point of go down to the point of the drop and then back to normal. So we should never do that. You're much better off doing it inside the project with the do it in the project with the instruments. Make them louder without tweaking the volume on the master channel. Never do that. I'm out of time to tell you why, but if you think about it, you'll agree with me, I'm sure. Yeah, I think just leave that thing at the end. Goodness. Goodness gracious. Thanks for watching. Hope you got something out of that. I enjoyed making this. Dragged on for a bit, but we got through it. And I have a lot to reflect on. Catch you next time.